Share 6. Gratitude for what I can do for myself. As far as gratitude goes, you know, my first contact with English-speaking AA in Europe was in the autumn of 1988 in Paris. I was staying at a friend's place in the city near the Pasteur Institute. I called the only number I had, and it was a certain Charlie B. Charlie B's apartment, by coincidence, was pretty nearby, like it was in the same arrondissement district. He invited me over, and you know, I think I said something to him like, "Sure, I'd love to come over. Do you think you could come for me? Or will I need a taxi? Or how do I get there?" Anyway, one of the first things anybody in English-speaking AA in Europe ever said to me was, "Are you some kind of an handicapped person?" That was probably the third thing Charlie said to me, and he was the first person in English-speaking AA in Europe I ever talked to. I always thought that was kind of funny, how it just got me off on the right foot, and like ever since then, I have been completely independent. I have never asked anybody for directions to a meeting, or for a ride, or anything else, actually. I thought of that a couple weeks ago when I was at a meeting on the French Riviera when we had this visitor from Helsinki. It was fine for me to give him rides because he had to have the ride, or he just wasn't going to be getting to the meeting. I realized if he had to take the train, even though he lived right near the Juan Le Pen train station. But Charlie B., I finally got over to his apartment. It was a renovated greenhouse where you'd grow plants, and he was sitting there with a guy named Ed, eating Spanish rice. Charlie started talking about back in Kentucky where he was from, that he, his family, and friends all had, well, it was the kind of neighborhood where the broken-down Chevy was in the front yard up on blocks, and the broken refrigerator was on the back porch. You know, oddly enough, I could totally identify with that, because some of my neighbors in Virginia at that time had exactly the same kind of house and yard.